Wonderful. Well, we're talking about twin flames in our last episode and how you can meet somebody who reflects all of your wounds that you are forced to go within because you're literally seeing yourself and your wounds exposed. And how can you not see a wounded animal and just leave it? You've got to patch up its leg and patch up its chest and fix it.
Yeah, and the reason why there's such a want and desire to fix it is because even though this is someone in a different human body, it's actually another part of you. It's like you experience magic through this person. You don't know what you're experiencing it. It's insane.
Yeah, essentially, like when you reach a certain frequency, which I call the highest vibration at that point in your life, you attract someone else also on that same highest vibration, and it's almost like you both can't evolve and raise your energy more because you're at a blockage. It's almost like you've got to clear the roads first before you move forward. There's like a traffic jam. You've got to clear the debris in the front before you can go forward. So no matter how far you go forward, you aren't going to go anywhere because there's fucking debris there.
Some of it's from like generations old. Like this abandonment trauma goes in my family like generations and generations, and hers I can see is generations and generations because it's in all of her family members, and it's deep, bro. It's deep. And like they say that in order for you to actually meet your twin flame, you actually have to be quite well into your spiritual journey. You have to have done a lot of the work already.
Right, tell me who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Hello, my name is Naiko. I'm a singer-songwriter, I'm a mystic, and I'm currently integrating into my life the knowledge of numerology, astrology, human design, and gene keys to learn more about myself and hopefully one day in life help others if they wish to know more about themselves.
So we were speaking about twin
I'm a
flames.
singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist, by the way, but that doesn't matter. Go on.
Wonderful. Well, we're talking about twin flames in our last episode and how you can meet somebody who reflects all of your wounds that you are forced to go within because you're literally seeing yourself and your wounds exposed. And how can you not see a wounded animal and just leave it? You've got to patch up its leg and patch up its chest and fix it.
Yeah, and the reason why there's such a want and desire to fix it is because even though this is someone in a different human body, it's actually another part of you, which is insane. And it's interesting because what you're talking about is it's called mirroring, but in the twin flame world, it's called twin flame mirroring. And it's mad because way before the universe was like, oh, by the way, this is your twin flame. I didn't, there's so much to talk about this, man. I remember when in the first interactions with my partner, with this woman, I remember telling her, I was like, I've just realized I'll call her, what should I call her for now? I'll call
Julie.
I'll call her Megan. And when I was like, Megan, I'm realizing that this isn't a regular normal 3D relationship. This is like a 5D relationship. And I didn't even know what the fuck that meant. I had no idea. And then the universe was like, it just started, because I never went out seeking to look into twin flames because I thought it was one of those bullshit new age fucking, oh, you're my twin flame, let's do twin flames together, yeah. Because there's soulmates, there's twin flames, there's karmic partners, there's a whole fucking like plethora of different descriptions, and then the universe kept telling me fucking videos on twin flames, and I remember hearing one first video and I was like, oh my god, this is exactly it. It's like you experience magic through this person. You don't know what you're experiencing it, and then through a video someone's telling you exactly what you're experiencing, and it feels like when you listen to it, it feels like cryptic code, but it all makes sense. Does that make sense?
100%. You feel like there's this secret language out there that no one's heard of, and it's fucking obvious because it's so fucking factual and obvious, but yet no one else has a clue.
Yeah,
because no one's experienced it.
One of these very specific functions in the twin flame dynamic is called mirroring, twin flame mirroring. Essentially what it is that, this person mirrors the most powerful light aspects and the darkest of your depths of shadows. And it's mad because way before I even got onto the idea that maybe this is a twin flame dynamic, I kept saying to Maggie, thank you for being a perfect mirror. Thank you for being a perfect mirror to my darkest aspects, because I'm able to see them. And even the times where we're in separation, I'll be like, you've been a perfect mirror. Thank you for being a perfect mirror. And then I discovered this whole fucking universe of twin flameness. And it's all about twin flame mirroring. And it's like, it's fucking mad. Even today, like even the days where I'm like, because when we broke up, I was like, nah, fuck it. She's not my twin flame. This is a karmic partner. She's just a narcissist. No, she's not a twin flame. And I forget about it and I demonize her to help myself get over the fact that this was a horrible dynamic. And then out of nowhere, I was out in a coffee shop with my mate Archie, talking about a book he's reading about philosophy and about the universe. And out of nowhere, in a way that the term twin flame has fuck all to do with the conversation, he's like, yeah, community is like a twin flame, really. And I'm like, and I started crying. I was like, I told the universe I'm done with that word, because this isn't a twin flame. And then it just forces itself back into my life. And it's like twin flame, twin flame, twin flame. I've been watching a podcast on like a guy called Edward Grant, and then this other woman, Caitlin Clarehart. Oh no, it was another guy, about numerology or human gene keys. It's like, yeah, it's like the twin flame dynamic. And it's like the universe doesn't want me to, like, how to say, doesn't want me to forget and doesn't want me to, does that make sense?
100%.
It's like, yeah, you may convince yourself that this isn't a twin flame because that's your way of trying to get over it. But no, this is fucking twin flame. We're not going to let you forget about it. It's insane.
Yeah, because essentially, like, when you reach a certain frequency, which I call the highest vibration at that point in your life, you attract someone else also on that same highest vibration. And it's almost like you both can't evolve and, you know, raise your energy more because you're at a blockage. It's almost like you've got to clear the roads first before you move forward. There's like a traffic jam, and you've got to clear the debris in the front before you can go forward. So no matter how far you go forward, you aren't going to go anywhere because there's fucking debris there. So you've got to get out your car, get your spade, get your backsack and your litter picker, and pick up all the debris. And there's thousands of it. It's the shit that happened when you were a kid, when you were 7, the dad karma, the mum karma, the school karma, bullying karma.
Some of it's from like generations old. Like this abandonment trauma goes in my family like generations and generations, and hers I can see is generations and generations because it's in all of her family members, and it's deep, bro. It's deep. And like they say that in order for you to actually meet your twin flame, you actually have to be quite well into your spiritual journey. You have to have done a lot of the work already so that you're actually ready, so your body is ready to handle. Because I don't know, I'd love to know what your experience is on this, and then I'll tell you what mine was. They say that this happens because it's such a holistic transformation. Was there like a change in your body or your face, or like once you met your twin flame, how did it impact your life? Was it just spiritually? Was it emotionally? Was it professionally? Was it physically? Was it new habits, new skills? Or did you just stay the same and it was none of those?
So like my confidence ×2, my personality ×2, I dressed ×2, even better. I was going out thinking I was the king. Like I've just found this person that is like perfect. Money was like ×2. My ambition was ×2. I didn't need as much sleep.
Was this, oh my God.
Was food was ×2. It was so great. And
was this when you guys were connecting?
It was when I just literally met her, and the weeks of just messaging and getting to know somebody where you don't know where it's gonna go. And it's called like the honeymoon period before it all goes to shit, right? And that's where the universe is like, this isn't coming for what you think. We've got some work to do. And then that's when you start trying to get close, and then you push them away. And then like a magnet, you get closer and you push them away. And the more you fucking
that what you just expressed, that wasn't specifically what I was asking for, but it's so true. It's like you're on NOS. It's like you're on fucking magic. But my question was specifically more asking towards like because there's the honeymoon period and then there's the separation period, which that's the bit where you transform. That's the bit where you're like, fuck, I need to shift shit in my life. I need to change. I need to grow because this is painful. Like out of that, what happened within you after the separation period?
Right.
what was the growth from the pain of the separation?
Yeah, so essentially it was this 6-month chase of getting to know, wanting to get closer to her in all aspects, physical, spiritually. And then I actually moved back from London, ironically around the same time where I burst out crying to her, saying I thought you were the one, and I just wanted to get to know you, and I surrendered. I was heartbroken. I was distraught. It was like someone had died. I literally remember thinking, it's like
I said that to
a
Archie.
parent had died. My soul had been sucked out of me, and I'd lost my soul. It was like just a death. Sucked out of me.
I know. I said that to Archie. We were in a pub and I burst out crying. I didn't know how the fuck to express it apart from finally it came to mind, and it was like, I feel like I'm grieving in the death of someone.
Yes. It was like grieving the death of somebody when I emotionally let her go. It was almost like I couldn't push her anymore because she kept, every time I pushed, she would run even further. And it was like, now I can't even see her. She is running so far that I can't see her anymore, that I didn't know where she was, which means I couldn't push because I couldn't see her. And that's when I stood still. And that's when the 2-year journey of coming back to the point where we can now speak on the same wavelength. We've acknowledged the twin flame energy. We have acknowledged that we're not romantically involved. And now no one's pushing and no one's pulling. And I remember sort of reaching out.
With this person?
No, it was completely platonic. I've even held her hand, right? And then along the journey, we would exchange messages and voice notes, which would be 10-15 minutes. A voice note would be 10-15 minutes.
We'd speak 8 hours on the phone. There was one time where I'd called her at like 5 a.m. and I was on the phone. No, 10 p.m. and then I stayed on the phone with her till 5 a.m. man. Like, we're talking 8-hour fucking. It's insane.
And time just merges into one with them. Conversation just flows, and you can say so much, and yet there's so much more to say.
I know.
And yet,
I know.
Anyway, so the point was this.
So what was your transformation?
What
was your transformations? Go on, make your point, because I'm sure it's a good one.
Yeah, so the point was that when I finally stopped pushing, we eventually sort of got closer, but it took actually quite a few years where I wouldn't speak and message for ages. And then I become aware of a trait that I was now doing directly because of that person. And I'd reach out and I'd say, I'm so grateful that you taught me this. Let's say rapport. I was always extreme, always intense. So she taught me by reflecting my intensity. I can't be intense all the time because it's too much for her and she can handle it. So imagine how other people are going to handle it. So now
she couldn't handle it.
She couldn't, and I literally was reflecting her energy, which made me realize I'm like this with everybody at all times, and no one's got the balls to tell me. So I basically, I haven't done it for ages, but I remember through like 2-3 years, there was always something that I would reach out and say, I'm so grateful that you taught me this. And it was like, the more grateful I was for this person coming into my life, the closer we became, the more open our communication became, because essentially it was like, you've been exposed, you're healing all the wounds, and now you're healing, and now you can take the plasters off and there's no wounds. But it was like a 2-year period of, this person taught me this person taught me that, this person did this person did that, and it's directly because you gave me the time and the attention and energy that no one did. I could be my full version of myself, good and bad. You faced the good and you didn't run from the bad. You threw it back in my face and says, Oliver, I don't like it when you do this and I tell you not to do this. And I say, don't message you. And you message me and you're not respecting me and respecting my boundaries. And I'd keep going at her and at her.
Yeah.
And then she would be like, Oliver, I don't want to block you, but I'm so close to blocking you. And she never blocked me once. Never, ever, ever blocked me once. She handled and absorbed the most extreme versions of myself that only my family have ever seen. And she pushed me back in the most loving way. Oliver, I know you mean well. You've got a kind heart. I know you just want to be heard. You've got so much to offer. I hear you. I see you. I understand that. But you're too intense. I need a break from you. So she basically punched me in the face and said, here's a plaster, right? Most people, they'll just fucking punch you and say, fuck off. But she punched me in the face and said, here's a plaster and here's a movie. Here's some popcorn. Go and watch the film with your broken jaw, okay? And I'll watch my own film, right? But it ain't going to be with you. And it's okay, I'll watch a film. As my jaw fixes, I'm like, right, let's try again. But at that point, months have passed. I've done more healing. She's done more healing. She's not running as much. I'm not pushing as much. And we're getting closer together. We're getting closer and closer. All that means is we can speak without this intense pushing and pulling. And now we're just in harmony. We're just in harmony. And it was the most beautiful, intense, horrible, exhausting journey of my entire life, where this person makes me.
It's so tiring, man.
This person makes me, but I can't stop thinking about her, and all I want to do is get closer. And by me getting closer, I push her away, and it's torture. It's fun, but what it teaches you is to go in. Go in. When you seek something so bad out, go in every damn time.
Yeah, man. It's the most powerful lesson ever, man. It's quite surreal.
I don't think I've spoken about my twin flame journey ever. Apart from you.
I've only spoken it with you because you're the only one who has experienced it, who actually, because no matter if you've heard of it and even if you've done a bit of research but you haven't lived it, you cannot justify talking about it unless you've lived it. And I've been very careful. I first off, because I know how sacred and deep and intense it is, I don't talk about it to anyone apart from you. When I found out, when you were like, do you reckon she's a twin flame? I'm like, thank fuck someone knows what the fuck I'm living. Because otherwise you feel like an absolute nutcase, man. You feel like you're a degenerate or a prisoner gone wild, man. It's insane.
I don't know anybody who's ever met a twin flame, just so you know.
Well, you have now. But what was I saying?
But as you say, you've got to be a certain level of involvement within yourself and have done a lot of work to get a twin flame. Most people aren't even. Yeah, that was my. They've not even begun.
That you have to be ready spiritually, emotionally, physically. I'm talking physically because essentially the changes your body goes through and the stress your body goes through, I don't know about you, but for me, the stress I went through during the physical stress I went through during that was so bad that it made me ill. Like after a period when finally my body was like, it was during the Christmas holidays and I was away from London. I was with my family. I didn't have to think about hustling and grinding and working and making money and blah, 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 and looking after myself. My body was like, right, we're in a safe space. Christmas is over. Mum's birthday's over, which is New Year's Day. Now you can get ill. And my body instantly just became ill out of all the stress. I lost weight, man. Like I
wasn't eating.
I wasn't eating.
I couldn't eat.
I wasn't sleeping. You know what's funny is I was sleeping less. It's so mad because when I met this person, I'm the kind of person that will wake up without an alarm at like 9, 10, sometimes 11. And then when I met this person, my sleeping pattern had fixed itself like that overnight. And I was waking up at 6. I was waking up at 7. I was so efficient with my energy, man. I was like you, money. I was making money like this. I was attracting opportunities. I was just an oozing ball of love. That was during the honeymoon period. And like I felt so powerful. I felt like I was just a wizard. I felt like I don't know. I could just and then the separation.
Invincible.
Yeah, absolutely. But not against people. It was like invincible for the good of me and everyone around me. Does that make sense? I was like,
you could do anything you wanted. For greatness. You could just do anything you wanted for you and other people.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, I remember thinking, I love how I'm interacting with people. I love how I'm talking to people. This is new. There's so much kindness and there's so much like assertion, but love and like structure and stability and flexibility. It was like, I don't know, it was like becoming a masculine and a feminine. Masculine and feminine. Do you know that that's what the whole twin flame thing is about? This is why I wear this, the Sri Yantra. Is to unify the split masculine and feminine energy that's within us. It balances the ones that are out of balance and then we unify. That's what the Sri Yantra is about. It's about the Shiva and the Shakti, which is Shiva is the masculine energy, Shakti is the feminine energy. And it's about balancing them both. Because I realized that I was functioning more on a under-empowered masculine energy and over-empowered feminine energy. My energies were so out of whack. I was so like emotional. I was a lot more feminine than I was masculine. And then this person still to this day, because I think she's still in the midst of her like growth and like shifting and transforming, she's way into her masculine energy and not enough into her feminine, and I was way into my feminine and not enough into my masculine, which is why it didn't work. Does that make sense? And it sounds like it's similar to you, because if you were like over the top and like OTT and too expressive and too intense, that sounds like
I was too dominant, too masculine, too overpowering, too alpha.
I don't know, because it sounds like she's the one that alphaed you, man. She's the one that got control of you.
Yeah,
but maybe she was masculine.
She was the woman, but yet she was like me, dominant, fiery. She was the alpha. Right. She was the masculine.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. So maybe what you thought was actually your dominant was just your feminine, your feminine going a bit. What's the word? Out of control. Your feminine energy was out of control, and you were dominated by your feminine energy, and she had to rein that energy in with her alpha, because she was clearly still in her masculine energy and you in her feminine energy. I don't know, I'm speculating, but masculine energy is stable as fuck. It sounds like she was in her masculine. It sounds like you were in your feminine, because if she's able to say Oliver, essentially she reined your energy in. She was like, whoa, yes, fucking calm. That's masculine.
She reined me in. She settled me. She balanced me. She put me in place.
Right. So that's masculine energy. So she's in her masculine and you're in your feminine. Or maybe you're the divine, because within the whole twin flame thing, there's the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And just because you're the divine masculine doesn't mean you're the man. You could be the divine masculine in the feminine. But yeah, it's a fucking mad world, this twin flame thing, man. Yeah, it's insane.
I want to go back to the point where you said how everything is the mind and we're just spectrums and like fragments of that mind. So you've got the whole universe, all of the energy. Then you've got essentially when the sperm and the egg come together, you see like two things swimming to each other, and like cells, they then divide and go the opposite. So two twin flames come together, they make each other whole, then they kind of separate.
No. They never come together. Two twin flames is one thing that divides into two. So that's what souls are. Essentially, the whole universe and everyone is just like from the same source. There is only one source. That's why it's called the source. It's for all that is the God. What everyone calls God is just one form. Imagine you've got a dough ball called source. Hey, is that making hearts? Is that?
Yes. No, will you fucking stop that?
That's insane. A dough ball. Puss ass.
Fucking pizza comes up on the screen.
Imagine you've got a dough ball, which is the source of all that is, where everything comes from, and that breaks up into billions and billions of tiny little dough balls. That's what souls are. But within one of those billions of small dough balls, because once you've subdivided it, that's it. You've got, even though they're more waves and flows than actual balls of energy, you've got one that is. It's like, okay, this is, let's call it fucking Rosita. Rosita splits into two because Rosita is so powerful that it wants to experience itself as masculine and feminine. That's what a twin flame is.
Whereas all the other dough balls are already masculine and feminine on a smaller scale. For example, the average person at school, why will they never find their twin flame? And obviously they're all sheep. They're just normal people. They're all following each other.
It's because it's not the choice of their soul. So first off, to go through, and I'm only going through this from what I've experienced, and also from like the knowledge that I've absorbed from other people who have gone through the twin flame experience. What was I saying? In order to go through, because the twin flame experience is so fucking painful to the point where I actually wanted to die. It's so painful. It's so difficult. You know what I mean, right?
I wanted to die.
Yeah.
It was like I'd found this one thing I've always longed for, and I still can't get it. Why is God punishing me?
Yeah.
Fuck you, God.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, man.
I found everything, and I've got nothing. I'm even more broken before I've met them.
Yeah.
Fucking cunt, God.
And then, like, even though, you know, and I'm always like, oh, everything happens for a reason. And then usually I can figure out quite quickly why this good thing or this bad thing has happened. There was so much bad. I'm like, are you telling me, God, you just showed me this person just to make me feel this shit? Are you serious? Is that it? And then I realize now what the whole thing is, because I got the context. But yes, like, only not everyone has a twin flame or in this incarnation lives the twin flame experience, because you as a soul have to be ready for the growth and the knowledge, and you as a body have to be strong enough. Like you, specifically you, Oliver George Cartledge, your body is strong enough, you're healthy enough, you're fit enough, you know, you're not overweight, you have a good diet, you're not an alcoholic, you're not a smoker to the point where it damages you. Yeah, like, you know, you're physically very able. Like me, I'm physically very fit and able, even before I was doing a shitload of fitness and martial arts and still drinking and smoking. My fitness is very, you're about to show your muscles. Go on. And your body has to be able to handle it. Your
cells have to be able to handle it energetically. Absorb
exactly.
the charge.
Because it's a whole transformation. So that's
some
why
people
not
can kill
everyone has
themselves.
it, and it's not a question of someone's better or worse or someone's more enlightened or not. It's not the question. It's just like, why are some people, or why are some animals pigs and why are some cows? It's just, that's the way they were born. That's it. That's the way nature or creation has created them. It's not
Why are
better
you
or
black
worse.
and I'm white? Don't fucking know. I ain't come out the vagina like this.
Yeah, God designed me that way.
Why have you got a long neck? Why have you got spots? Don't know.
Just is. Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit of a mad thing. This person still, when I told her about the whole twin flame, she absolutely fucking hard dry refused it, because she was like, I don't believe in, considering she's into tantra, she's into yoga, she's into like all this spirituality thing and all this no drinking, no smoking, the idea of twin flames she absolutely rejects. And because she thought that a previous relationship she was in, it was a twin flame and it didn't work out, and she was absolutely distraught. So she thinks that, but she's the runner, I was the chaser. But yeah, it's, at the same time, it's the most beautiful thing that you can ever experience. And I remember one of the first letters I wrote to her, or long messages, I was like, even if we don't end up together, just the fact that I know that you exist is enough for me.
Yes.
It's weird, isn't it?
Because all of a sudden it's like,
it answers a lot of, like, you feel an empty magnetism around you all your life, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And then finally you meet a person and it justifies this weird magical energy that happens around you. It's like, oh, that's what this is. Got it. Now I fucking know.
it's almost like, you know, you find out that you've got a sibling from a DNA test, and you've got like 4 siblings. All of a sudden you don't feel alone, even though you don't know them, and they're just simply body connected, and you're more likely to have a connection, a brother connection with your best friend. All of a sudden, the fact that that person is there, you don't feel alone in this world, that you came out the same vagina. And it's like there is this feeling of, I'm not alone, which essentially is what everyone really wants in life, not to be alone. Like, the reason why we want a partner, even if it's not sexual, is just so we don't feel alone when we go to bed, when we're watching.
It's super interesting, because, and that's one thing that for me was fucking mad when I met this person. Even because I'm a highly sexually driven person, like my libido is ridiculous. But when I met this person, I, like, for example, I know that she was going through tough times, so I thought, you know what, I'll go on Deliveroo and order her, get what's it called, a chai latte to be delivered to her, just to make her day easier. And then later down the line, 2 days after, she was like, yeah, and you bought a chai latte just to get me into bed. And first off, I was like, it's twisted that that's how you've twisted my intention. But secondly, like, and I told her many times, I don't want to fuck you. I have no intention to fuck you. If it happens, great. But like, this isn't a sexual thing. Like, I just want to be around you. That's it.
That was the same for mine.
And if we fuck, great, because then it will be amazing, because we're clearly compatible. But if we don't, no problem. Like, I can wait. Like, we can live together and not fuck. I'm perfectly happy. Actually, the first
I just
night,
want to be near you and speak to you and talk to this person. That is me in another body.
And like, the first time that we got intimate, she's into tantra, and you know, she made certain choices about her life with regards to her approach to sexuality. She was celibate for 1.5 years before we met, which means she wasn't having sex with anyone, and she really wanted to practice the subtle sensations of tantra. And so the first time we did get intimate, there was no penetration, there was no like masturbation, there was no like, but we were both naked. There was a lot of like caressing and touching and like, you know, kissing. There was kissing for sure, but for hours we were just in the same space, naked, doing everything apart from masturbation and sex.
Dreamy.
And that, and at the like, and then there came a point, and there was no thought ever of like, all right, I want to come now. I want to make a come. I was like, no, this is amazing. And then after a while, like it just comes to a natural fizzling end, and then we go to sleep. And then in the morning we woke up and we fucked. But like, there was no. That's what I mean by it's not just a regular fucking relationship. It's not a I like you. Oh, we get on really well. Should we fuck? Yeah, let's fuck. Okay, cool. What do we do now? Like, sex was not part of it at all. And she's you know, she's how to say, she's well versed in the world of sex. She used to work in in like a kind of like a Ann Summers kind of thing, you know. So she's well connected with her sexuality. She's not like a person who doesn't have sex or who doesn't enjoy sex. Some people don't enjoy sex. Like I love sex, and I love weird sex, and I love adventurous sex, and so does she apparently. But like when we met, the last thing we wanted was to fuck. It was just, I'm happy sitting across the table. You do you and I do me. I don't give a fuck what else happens. I'm happy with that. So it's a weird thing, man. It's yeah. Fuck, man.
Right, let's organically end that there.
Do you want to do another one?
No, I'm exhausted. What do I say at the end? Is there anything you want to promote?
Anything I want to promote? Yeah, something I realized today might not apply to everyone, but anyone who's like me. Something I realized today is aggression actually doesn't fucking work if you're looking for harmony and solutions. If you give aggression to someone, what you will get back is either aggression, their sadness, or them shutting down on you. If you want resolution, give kindness and give love, and from that will naturally arise harmony and solution. I'm saying this because I've been withholding my own aggression. I've been like, you know, I've not been tuning into my own power, and it's been bubbling inside, and now I'm choosing to feel it, and I'm too much into it, and I'm abusing my own aggression. Not to be destructive, but it's just not worked. And so, yeah, if you actually want results and harmony in a conflict, go into the conflict with love, kindness, openness, definitely not aggression.
And is that last thing that you'd say if you had one day left to live?
If I had one day left to live,
what would you leave the world with out of your mouth?
What would I leave the world with? Oh, okay. Well, this isn't the end. Life goes on after death. So don't be afraid.
Okay, Naiko, thank you very much. Ciao. Thanks for listening. If you like this episode, please remember to subscribe, turn the bell notifications on, like the episode, and comment below. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's YesKingOliver. Take a look at the other videos to your side. And if you just want to listen to this podcast, you can do so on Apple and Spotify and most other platforms by going to talkwitholiver.com.